Welcome. I have not made one of these in so long, and I'm so excited. Anyway, we're gonna start our day. I already kind of did start my day. First thing I do every day, at least on the weekend, because obviously I do work like a full-time job the other rest of the week. So on the weekend, we always start our day by working out. First we eat. I already did that. All I can eat in the mornings, because I have like the world's most sensitive stomach, is like air. But I force myself to eat something, okay? So this morning I had rice cake and some Swedish fish. Did have Swedish fish, which is the breakfast of champions, and now we're gonna go work out, and I might feel like I want to vomit, but whatever. It doesn't matter, because as soon as I'm done working out and it's gonna be like 10 in the morning, I'm probably gonna eat like a whole bowl of buttery pasta or something really bad for me, which is just gonna negate the entire point of working out. But we live, and we enjoy life in any way that we can, and that's how I enjoy life. As I stated previously, I think we're just gonna do a day. I have some stuff I have to do. Will I get to that though? Probably not, because it doesn't sound very appealing to me. One of the things I have to do, clean my car. I probably will not get to that. I hate cleaning out my car. I hate it. And it's always messy. And I hate it. And for some reason, I always have piles and piles of clothes in there and sweatshirts that I've been looking for 6 months that I throw in the back for some reason, and they live in there forever. And then I have to go clean that, and I hate that. So what am I gonna do today? I think that honestly is it. I make it sound like I have like some big long hard day planned. I don't. I never really do. Some weeks are different. This weekend, I don't think I have anything. So we're gonna do nothing. Pretty much checks out. Anyway, let's start by working out. It's 7 in the morning right now. I have a little bit of food in my belly. I'm still kind of half asleep. Although I do wake up early every morning for work. Like early as in like 5:30, 6 sometimes, if I'm feeling like I can sleep in for a little bit. And so now I'm the type of person, because I wake up early every day, that like if I'm awake, I can lay in bed for maybe half an hour, but then I have to get up and I have to start doing something, which honestly, low-key proud of myself, because that's a really good habit to have, and I'm not being a lazy, depressed POS anymore. So, well, anymore. I say that loosely. Sometimes I still am, but for the most part, I'm not, and that's good. And that's also kind of why I'm making this video today, because whenever I'm feeling like I'm in a really good mood, I actually want to do stuff that's creative and fun. It doesn't happen very often, as you can probably tell. But we're going to try to make it happen more often, because I do enjoy doing it. Anyway, after that rant, let's get ready and go work out. I have a home gym. I say very loosely, it's not really a home gym. It is one singular piece of equipment in my garage on some very slippery mats. We bought these mats, and like I can't even stand on them. I will slip. So then I have to put a yoga mat on top of it. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's a home gym, but it sucks. And I had no business spending the amount of money I spent on the equipment in there. But I did it anyway. So now I actually think that's the best motivation I've ever had, because I spent the money on it. So now I have to work out. So honestly, kind of recommend doing that. Maybe buy something that was way too expensive and took a lot of money out of your savings. And then you'll be skinny, okay? That's how you do it. That's good advice. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's because I'm still half asleep, so let's go work out. I think it's Friday, so it is a leg day today. I don't know. I think I'll do it, but I really don't feel like weightlifting today. So what will I do? I'm gonna do leg day. We're gonna do leg day. It's the easiest one for me. Even though I don't love it, it is the easiest, and I do know how to do it the best, so we'll start there. And it's actually finally starting getting warm outside. And if you have like a home gym like I do that's in my janky garage, especially if we're trying to work out there in the winter, it's freezing cold. I can't feel my fingers. I have to wear like 2 pairs of leggings, a pair of sweatpants, 4 pairs of socks, 4 sweatshirts and gloves. And so I'm finally excited that it's finally warm outside, because all I have to wear now is like leggings and a long sleeve shirt. And I don't feel like I'm gonna get hypothermia while trying to work out. Anyway, I'll stop talking now. Let's just get ready to go work out. Okay, little fit haul. Fit check. These leggings are Alpha Elite. They are my new favorite kind. They're like the flared kind. I love them. They are the most comfortable ones they have ever created. I'm out of breath from posing. Anyway, this is a shirt I got from Amazon. I don't remember the name. It's like a pack of 4, and they're my favorite workout shirts ever. This is what they are, if I can find it. And then I just have Nike socks on, and I will be wearing Converse to weightlift, because on leg days, Converse are the best flat shoes to wear. They are the most comfortable with the most support. Anyway, like, look at how flattering these pants are. It actually makes me look like I work out all the time, and I don't. Okay, let's just go do it, because the faster I get this done, the faster I can start my day. And by start my day, I mean sit around and read books all day. Obviously, what else do I have to do with my life? Literally nothing at all, ever. So, okay, let's go. It's leg day, so I will kind of walk you through what I do. And by walk you through, I mean do a quick sped up montage. You're welcome. Okay, now that I'm done working out, I'm sitting here waiting for like half an hour before I go take a shower, because I've read once that it's not really that good for you to work out, cool down, and then get right back into a hot shower. I don't know if it's true, but it kind of makes sense. So we're just gonna sit here. But while we're waiting, I thought it'd be fun to show you guys some jewelry I've made lately. In addition to reading, another fun little hobby I have that I really enjoy is making jewelry. I'm probably not the best at it, but it is a lot of fun, and it's very therapeutic, and it is a good way to be creative. I would say it's a cheap hobby, but it's not. What hobby is ever cheap? None of them. Anyway, thought it'd be fun to show you some. So here, let me see here. These are the first earrings I ever made. Those are the first ones. They're not my best work. The second ones I made much cuter. Still not my best. Oh my gosh. Sit still. Oh my god. How an author describes a man's testicles in a book when they're having sex. I'll go put myself in timeout for that one. Going for like fairy woodland creature vibes. Wow, they really look like testicles. They literally look like blue balls. And then I did make a necklace to match. This one has the same little things and then the little mushroom. So cute, love this one. I only, after making these necklaces, did I find out that the type of metal this is will stain you green if you don't treat it. And to treat it, it's like some toxic liquid that will give you lung cancer or something. So I guess my neck will be green. Okay, this next one wasn't really hard to make. It's literally just like a little pendant I got off Etsy. And then on a long chain. But it reminds me of a guitar. So love that one. I love this one. This is it. Look at her. Oh my gosh. She's beautiful. I did make matching earrings. I started making matching earrings. They're not done. Let me see if I can find them though. Little matching earrings. And I love them. I don't know if I've made anything else. I haven't made anything else, but I do have a ton of pendants and stuff and a bunch of things I do want to make, so maybe we'll make one in this video because that would be fun. Unless I get, like, I'm feeling super lazy, and then probably not. Okay, that's all the ones I can think of. It's not a lot, but it's honest Now, I'm gonna go take a shower probably stuff my face with something, and then we'll do something afterwards. I can't wait to see what this day holds. Okay, it's a while later. I am showered, I'm clean, I ate lunch. It is time to go sit outside and read, but first I thought it'd be fun to kind of do a little reading update, a little bookish update, things I've read lately, things I'm currently reading, books I've DNF'd, whatever. It's a little bit of everything. First, let's start with some books I've finished. Okay, the first one I finished. I've been currently reading the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, and by currently I mean I was reading it up until like a week ago. Got the second book, halfway through the second book, and had to stop reading it because I'm just like in such a fantasy slump. I think it's this book that did it. This was really slow. Not much happened until like the last 100 pages. It was good writing. I mean, anybody with eyes can see that. And anybody without eyes could hear it. Anyway, it was good. It just wasn't, I guess, what I was looking for at the time, and it's still not what I'm looking for, so I had to stop reading it. I put the second book back on my DNF shelf for now. I will pick it back up again, I think, as soon as I'm like in a better fantasy mood. Although, like, the writing's so good, and this series is set up in such a way that I know I should like it. It has everything that I like, all the elements, the characters, the plot, the magic system, everything is awesome. I just couldn't do it, and it really has just ruined reading fantasy for me right now. So I think I'm gonna try to go back to like some classic fantasies I've already read to hopefully get myself back in the mood, I hope. I held off on reading this series forever, but Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, let me just say something. This sat on my DNF shelf for easily 2 years before I finally picked it up. I didn't believe that everybody was telling the truth that this series was good. I don't know why, because there wasn't anything that was making me think otherwise besides the fact that I just didn't believe there was any way that these could be good, and I don't know why. I caved and I read them, and I love them. Everything about them. They are so good, and they were so quick to read, so fun, so interesting. They didn't really, I guess they helped me get out of my slump in the way that I finished them, but right now it's not like finishing books isn't what I'm struggling with necessarily, but also at the same time it's like I get 50% through a book and then I just like don't want to read it. I just like can't do it. I don't know, but I love these were so good. I get the hype now. I understand. I tried starting to watch the TV show, but it was, the acting was a little, I just couldn't, but who am I to judge? I can't act, so I guess I can't say anything about it, but it was still, wasn't that good. Anyway, moving on. Another book I finished recently, and I even made a TikTok talking about this book. This is the most wild book I think I've possibly ever read, and I still don't really know how to feel about it, and that's Slewfoot. This book was wild. So wild. It is about a woman who's married to a man that owns a farm, but they don't really own the farm because the husband's brother kind of owns the farm, and they're just like paying off the debt until they do finally own it. But then the brother is in a lot of debt, and so he kind of takes the farm out from under them. Anyway, husband ends up dying. She ends up taking over like the debt, like basically saying like, if I get you all the money you need by this deadline, I will keep my farm, right? And they're like, yeah, whatever, da da da. But a bunch of weird stuff happens. She meets basically the devil, woodland creature like devil. It's brutal, it's bloody, it's gory. I can't even really describe what happened because it was just a lot. And I still fully haven't processed it. I think I finished it like a week ago, and I just don't know. It was just a little bit too much for me. It was good, but I think. A book I recently DNF'd, I also made a video about this, The Fabric of Our Souls. I was so excited about this book because the concept of it seemed so interesting, and it was awful. I literally made it to chapter 3. Awful. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, and then some books I'm currently reading right now. The Poppy War. I'm 50% through this book. I'm loving it so far, but I am an idiot for picking it up when I'm in my fantasy slump because I made it 50% of the way, and I just can't pick it up again, and I'm kind of bummed because it was really good, and I want to know what everybody's talking about with the series, but I just cannot do it at all, at all. But I'm gonna try. We're gonna try again today and see if I can get back into it. It's a sunny day out. I want to go read outside, so we're gonna go do that. I'm gonna try to get a little bit farther. Another one I'm reading, I started this last night, and I'm actually really enjoying it. The Happy Ever The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I hope that's how you say your last name. I am about 50% through this book as well. It is cute. It is about this artist. It's about this artist. Her name is Sloan. She lives in Los Angeles. Basically the book starts out by her like driving down a highway and she almost hits this dog, and then this said dog jumps through her sunroof. And then she then finds out later on by contacting the owner, when the owner finally gets back a hold of her, he is a famous musician. So then he flies back to LA, meets her. But my dude, this whole time, like, from when he finally calls back about the missing dog, they've been, like, talking by the time he gets back because he's on this trip in Australia. So he gets back to LA and then meets up with her and they start dating. And so far, it is so cute. I'm really enjoying it. Keep in mind, though, I don't go into romance books really expecting the best writing, the best plot, the best this, the best that. I read them just because they're mindless, they're easy to read, and they're fun. This may not be like the best romance book ever, but I honestly don't think any romance books are the best romance books ever, if that makes sense. Like, they're all just like, I don't know, I really consider them a genre of their own. And I give them a little bit more leeway, if that makes sense. Like, I let them be more cheesy. I let them, the writing maybe not be that great because they're fun. I want them to be fun, so I'm not going to harshly judge them so much. I know I'm not going to be physically, mentally impacted, emotionally impacted by a book like this long-term, life-wise, like a fantasy book would for me. So I want to finish this one. I'm probably going to finish this one today. This one's really cute and I'm really enjoying it. And then to hopefully help myself get out of my slump, I did start Binding 13 again on my Kindle. I love this series. The writings. The second time reading it, forgot how bad the writing was. I guess, it's not bad. It's not awful. It's not the worst writing ever. But man, within like the first 3 chapters, they really do mention how small she is. So many times. And I did not remember that. But I still love this series. I hold it near and dear to my heart. And I know it'll hopefully get me out of a slump. So we're also going to read that. But I want to go, it's like 80 degrees outside. I want to go set up a little blanket. I want to go sit outside in the sun because there's nothing helps me finish a book better than that. I also may let my guinea pigs out. If you don't know, yes, I have guinea pigs. Guinea Girl and SpongeBob. They are adorable. Don't ask about their names. They're also cooped up and it's finally warm out. So we're going to set up a little pen for them. They get to go sit and play out in the sun while I read. And I don't think there's a better way to spend my afternoon than that, really. So, let's go do that. They're always so nervous when we first do this, but they'll slowly warm up, like they always do, just new sounds, smells. But I always bring out a little bit of stuff for them to play with, and they'll hide. But they've got their little ring they can play in. I'll make it bigger with that piece over there if they decide they want to move, but they usually don't for a while. It's okay. Last night I read the cutest thing ever in this book. In one of the scenes, they were talking about where he lives, and he said like how one of his favorite pastimes was like going camping, and he gets to see the northern lights where he lives. And then Sloan was like, oh my god, I like would love to see the northern lights. It's like on my bucket list. And then she goes, what's something on yours? And he said, if you asked me yesterday, it would have been playing at this like really big stadium, but if you ask me today, it's going on a date with you. So freaking cute. I cannot deal with it. Okay, I had to move more into the shade because I'm roasting, and I had to take the guinea pigs with me because if I'm roasting, they're roasting. But I was sitting under the apple trees in the shade to read, and here comes Percy. Yes, come with me. It's the next day. I fell asleep yesterday when we were reading outside. Me and my cat fell asleep, had a nap. I then continued to sleep the day away and completely forgot about this video. So it's day 2 now, and we've got some stuff. I have some stuff I have to go do. I have to drop off a big bag of clothes I gotta donate. I have to go get groceries, all the boring adult stuff. But I do want to go to the bookstore we have here in town, and I want to get a couple more romance books because I started reading a romance book, and now I have decided that that is exactly what I am needing right now. So I want to go grab some more. That's going to be the first thing we're going to do because it's on the farthest part of town, and then I'll make my way back to finish the day. More adult things. So yeah, we're going to go do that, and then I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day after that. I did end up cleaning my car last night. After I took my pre-nap before I went to bed, I actually went out and cleaned my car, so I got one thing I needed to get done. So you should be proud, clap for me, because it wasn't that hard actually, so, you know. Anyway, I gotta go put some makeup on. Here's the fit. Okay, here's the fit. I could not find anything to wear today, so we just went with my Percy Jackson shirt and a cardigan. And I feel like I look like an idiot, but whatever. I literally could not find any clothes anywhere at all. I have so many clothes and I couldn't find anything. So this is what we landed on, okay? So it's gonna have to work. But it's something. There's literally some outdoor market taking place right now, and this place is packed. Like, driving down the street and not gonna be able to park anywhere, and I'm so stressed. I hate driving down here. It's so bad. So let's hope I can get in the bookstore and there's not 8 bajillion people there, although there probably will be. Now that I almost just freeze my tits off. It's cold. That was perfect timing because as soon as I was walking out the store, it starts raining and like super windy. Anyway, bag secured. We did it. We got it. Also, mind you, it's like Senior Citizen Saturday or something going on. There's just old people everywhere, and every time I'm just walking, they just stare. Like that. It's like, am I bothering you? Was my young body not allowed to be around here? I don't understand. Anyway, we did it. We got it. We survived. We didn't have to talk to anybody. And that's all that matters. We'll go over them when I get home because I can't talk. Okay, we're back home now. I'm looking rough because as soon as I get home, I literally have to like take all my clothes off, take all my makeup off. I can't relax at home with any of that stuff on. Outdoor clothes do not come into my room. Obviously this is an exception because I'm about to take it off and then I'm gonna lay in bed and do nothing. But I thought it'd be fun. We'll do a little book haul of the books I got today. Overpriced, might I add. They're only getting worse. Much worse. But whatever. I went to our bookstore. I got some romance books because that's the mood I'm in. Starting with, let's see, the first one, What If I Never Get Over You, by Paige Toon. Never heard of her. But it is about this woman who meets this man in Europe, and then after like their 3 wonderful days of them falling in love, they agree to go meet up in Spain. When she goes there, he doesn't show up, and then a couple years later she gets a different job somewhere else, and boom, he magically shows up and is in love with her, I'm guessing. So there's that one. Christina Lauren said, I loved it, an absolute treasure. So that's how you know it's gonna be good. Next, I got Me Without You by Kelly Rimmer. Also have not heard about it. Just a romance book. Man meets girl, girl emotionally unavailable, man makes girl emotionally available. That's pretty much it. Okay, and then my favorite authors. Okay, not my favorite authors. Christina and Becca Ritchie wrote my favorite series ever, the Addicted series. If you have not read it, like, you have to read that series. There's 10 books, I believe. It is the Addicted series as well as like the Calloway Sister series. They're intertwined. Probably one of the best things I've ever read. I hold that series near and dear to my heart. But this is another book by them called Destructively Mine. And it's about like two young girls, college age, who are con artists. What they're conning, I'm not entirely sure, but they decided to like stop doing that and go to a small town in Connecticut, I believe it said. And while they're there, they slowly start falling in love. Interesting concept, con artists, like kind of badass. I think there's also a love triangle in it. I'm not a fan of love triangles, but if they're done right, they can be fun. Okay, then I got After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love everything this author writes. I read, what is it called? Another one of her books right here. I read that one recently. Absolutely loved it. But this is about a couple who were married, but they decide to get a divorce for a year, and like they can do anything within that year to see if, I guess, they'll fall back in love. Wild. And then I got this one I don't know, about falling for Gage. Apparently he meets this girl like as a she's a waitress, but then he meets her as an artist in a different town like 3 weeks later, and she's lying and saying she's an artist. I did love this author's other book. I also can't remember it. Archer's Voice. It's Archer's Voice. I love that book. People either really love or hate that book. I love that book. So I'm excited to read this one just because I really like the author's writing. But that is pretty much it. I really just wanted to go get some romance books. I'm also really trying to lately focus on books that I'm not hearing a lot about or really anything about on Book Talk, because nowadays everything is a cash grab and everything is an ad, and I can't really trust that many opinions anymore, because either they're just horribly wrong and bad, or they're being paid to review stuff, and I just can't get behind that. I'm just the type of person like where if I didn't like it, I'm not gonna say I did, unless like the check was big enough. I'm kidding. Where am I? Anyway, so yeah, I'm just really trying to remain with my options open and not just do everything that everybody's reading. I used to do that when I first started my reading journey. I'm not going to do that now. I don't find it appealing. Not saying that all the books on Book Talk that people recommend are bad. They're not. They're just the same thing over and over and over again. Same trope, same plot. Obviously, that kind of just happens with these genres. But I'm just trying to also just branch out and read things that people don't recommend. Also because then if you guys ask for book recommendations, it's not the same thing the last 10 book talkers have talked about. I want to read different stuff. So I'm trying to do that. So there are these. Other than that, I don't really have any other plans for today besides finishing the Happy Ever Ever playlist by Abby Jimenez. I want to finish this. I should have already been finished with it this weekend, but I am in such a weird reading funk that it's really hard for me to finish it, but we're gonna do it today. Okay, so that's really all that I'm planning for the rest of this video, is finishing this book. I am enjoying it. I'm really liking it. The action has stepped up. So Jason and Sloane are officially dating, like I said, but fun little backstory. Jason, the rock star, anyway, Jason and Sloane are dating, but Jason finds out that he has to go on like a 14-month long tour, and his manager is also telling him that his crazy ex-girlfriend singer wants to be the opener, and like his publisher and like the people that are putting on the tour for him also agree that she should be his opener, but she's like batshit insane, like breaks people's car windows, like strips naked, wrote a song about him doing horrible drunken things to her. Like, she's a mess. So he doesn't want her to open for his show, but they're telling him if he doesn't let it happen, he's gonna be like dropped from the label basically. But then he also doesn't want it to happen because Sloane, his new girlfriend, he doesn't want her to get hurt by this crazy ex. So wild. But we're gonna finish this today and see what happens. So let's do that. Big boy. Big boy. Are you comfortable? You so comfy? You comfy? That's you. Oh. Based on the cover, tell me, would you read this book? Yes or no? That was a yes. Okay. I finished this book. And let me just tell you, I liked it. Let me just clarify it. When I was like halfway through this book, I was like really enjoying it. This is fun. The writing's good. It's fast paced. I kind of like the characters. I was like easy 4 stars. And then something happened. And I'm going to spoil this book, okay? So if you don't want spoilers, go ahead and skip to the end of the video. Actually, this will just be the end of the video for you. So thank you for watching and bye. But if you don't care about spoilers, let me just explain. So this book starts with Sloane. You find out that her husband, fiance, had died in a motorcycle accident. And at the beginning of the book, she's going to visit his grave. That's when she runs into Jason's dog, like on the road. The dog climbs up into her sunroof, into the car. She ends up having him, tries to get in contact with the owner. The owner's Jason. He's away in Australia backpacking for like 6 weeks with no phone. And so she's trying to get a hold of him. She finally does get a hold of him. He calls back. Then she's like, no, you can't have your dog back because why was he out in the first place? You don't love him. And then, she calls back feeling bad. Like, well, obviously, okay, yeah, I overreacted. He's your dog. So you can come back. When you come back to LA, you can take him back. But they kind of have this arrangement. Like, if I ask you a question and you answer it, you can keep Tucker, the dog, like an extra day. And so that arrangement happens. He finally comes back to LA. When he gets there, he takes her out on a date. They start dating. A bunch of things happen. You find out that he's going to go on tour. At first, it's just in America, but then it's like 14 months of tour. And that's like around the world. And this is like when they had first started dating. I think this is like 3 weeks of them dating. They find this out. And also you find out that Lola, which is Jason's ex-girlfriend, another crazy artist, is trying to go on tour with him. But he doesn't want her to because she's like crazy and is always getting into these like publicity stunts that are just awful. And he also fears for Sloane because she's like a jealous ex-girlfriend. So he hides that from Sloane, that she's even involved in any way. Obviously Sloane finds out that like he has a crazy ex-girlfriend that's following him around. Obviously. And so then a bunch of like drama happens, tour starts, they do the third act breakup. That always happens. Like, I can't have this life. I can't have this type of attention, Sloane says. And he's like, yeah, but I love you, so don't leave me. Anyway, they make up. They end up going on tour together. While they're on tour, they realize that, like, Sloane's really unhappy. She's miserable because she doesn't want to be on the road all the time. She wants a life and to be apart. Fine. So he lets her go back to his parents' house in Minnesota. She stays there for a couple of weeks. He becomes absolutely miserable. Turns into a dick, is, like, rioting and destroying stuff and is just angry and not sleeping. And so because he's not sleeping, his manager gives him an Ambien. I think that's what it was. And helps him sleep every night. Like, you have to take one of these every night to sleep. Well, the first night he takes one of these, Sloane decides, because they got into an argument previously, well, he's really miserable, but I'm miserable too. He thinks I'm happy here in Minnesota with his family, but I'm not, so I'm gonna come surprise him. So she surprised him at his hotel in Vegas, and when she's knocking on the door, he's knocked out from Ambien. So Lola, of course, is in the next room over visiting one of her friends that's also on the tour. The opening band for Jason that's on tour, she's visiting there. And when they hear Sloane pounding on the hotel room door, Lola opens it, the ex-girlfriend, of course. And she's just nothing but sweatshirt and underwear. So Sloane freaks out, she leaves. She takes a dog with her. Of course, she has this dog everywhere. And then he finally wakes up in the morning, Jason, like, hey, I was so knocked out from this Ambien, like, what could have possibly happened? Comes to find out his manager and somebody else knew that Sloane had shown up and that Lola had opened the door, so then they know now Sloane has left. And in the meantime, he's, like, trying to get a hold of her. And then you come to find out that, like, Lola isn't horrible and hasn't been harassing Sloane this whole time. It's his own management company that has been harassing Sloane, like slashing her car tires, like spray painting horrible things, starting all these fake fan accounts to harass her. Like, all this horrible stuff is his own management team doing that because they don't want her in the picture. They want him to be with Lola, the more famous girl. And we find out that Lola was never a part of this and has been also harassed by all these horrible publicity stunts and like her life is ruined and she has no money. That's why she wanted to go on the tours, because like they dropped her and her management team stole all of her money and she's sad. So then of course he finds that out. We all find that out as readers, and Jason does. He helps her, gets her into rehab, da da da. Mind you, this is all within like a couple hours this happens. Sloane comes back. She's like, I'm sorry, I overreacted. I thought about it. Obviously, you would never cheat on me. And guess what this motherfucker does? Guess what he does? Guess what he does? Guess! He tells her that they did sleep together and that he cheated on her. Because why not? Because why not? I hate that trope. I hate that trope. That is like, I hate it. And I stopped reading there. And instantly my rating went down to like 2 stars. I hate that trope so much. I literally like, this is like, mind you, within like the last 50 pages of the book this happened. I like stopped reading. And I kind of just skipped past that stupid part, read the end, and I was like, that's it. That was all I needed to read to change my entire rating. So now my rating's like 2.5 stars. I hate that trope. The miscommunication trope, I don't even know if that's what it's considered. Lying trope, I don't know. I hate it. I hate when they're like, I'm gonna lie to protect her, I'm gonna push her away because that's the good thing to do to protect her. I hate that. I hate it. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.